That's what I'll do.
Want me to sit here in silence while we wait?
Nah. No, we can just shit post.
Like I can just start singing Kansas or some shit.
Which
No?
which Kansas? Which one? Which one? Are we carry on with Mirror Sun?
That's what I was gonna sing. Yeah, we need to stop now though.
All right,
Yeah.
we're good. We're online.
Count it in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Good HAE podcast, where we're all sick and we're probably going to be coughing and burping and sneezing and snotting all over the place. We have a non-pencil,
I'm infected by your genetics.
enigmatic otaku,
I like to think I have better genetics.
milk,
I'm not here.
and of course, we have a very special guest with us this week. He is perfect in the past, present, and the future. We have PresentPerfect.
Wow.
Hello. Thank you for everyone who is tuning in, and for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, welcome. Whether it be from YouTube or from Ponyville Live,
Welcome my hockey team.
or from Pencil's hockey team. We are an entirely user-submitted podcast. We take suggestions from users who have listened to us in the past for different people they want to hear, and take their questions. That way we can ask things to you, Fimfic, to anyone who wants to, well, basically agrees. Everyone hates this podcast. Oh, God. This is off the rails. Bottom line, we're taking your questions and asking your guests to get your answers. This week, we have a couple drinking words. We have the word review, and we have shit, because, of course. Pencil, am I missing anything?
Have you announced that you are shit?
No, that's just kind of a given every week.
Okay,
We should probably remind them.
As long as they know that, as long as they know that you're horrible, let's do the thing.
All right, sounds good. That said, we're going to start with some actual interview type questions because, you know, we actually do interviews and stuff. So, Present, first of all, who are you and what have you done for our fandom?
Well, I wear a lot of hats in the fandom. I started off as a writer because writing is my thing. But over the years, I've become, I'm a pre-reader for Equestria Daily. I'm a fanfic reviewer. I'm a fanfic reader, like I do the readings on the YouTubes. I am one of the co-curators of the Royal Camelot Library. And I'm definitely forgetting one. I do a little voice acting. And I used to be part of the last roundup, which was a thing for like 2 months that I don't think anyone remembers.
I feel like that's something I've heard of, but I don't remember what it was.
It was supposed to be like another Royal Guard, Twilight's Library kind of thing, and it just didn't take off.
Oh, that's a shame. And now you're affiliated with the Good HAE list, so there you go.
Hooray!
We're branding you in the buttocks with this.
Next question. What is your favorite part of this fandom? Would it be the online community, the fan fictions, the cons, the music, the narrations? What's your favorite part of this fandom?
I mean, I guess I'd have to say the fanfic. That's like 90% of the fandom to me. I've been to cons. I listen to a lot of music. And I browse art and stuff like that. But I mean, fan fiction it's what I do. And, as far as I'm concerned, the fandom more or less is EQD and FimFiction. That's what I do.
Alrighty. And then last but not least of our actual podcast type questions, if there's one thing you could say to your fans, your followers, or even your haters, what would it be?
One thing I could say. The first thing that comes up is ripping off Scribbler. I would say be lovely to each other.
Aww.
Oh God, you're so nice. How did you end up here?
I don't know.
Just watch that. We're going to corrupt you over the course of this 2 hours.
Anyway, by the way, Priest, if you say alrighty at the end of a question one more time, I'm just going to start making a record of how many times you say it this cast, and I will punch you once for every time you say it.
Alrighty.
Fuck. God.
That said, we have a whole bunch of questions that were submitted by users, so we're going to jump in literally dick first. So let's just jump straight in. First set of questions come from Totally Not a Brony, who is totally not a person that you know. Am I correct?
I kind of know them.
There we go. The first question is it difficult to keep that many stories straight and organized? I'm guessing that's in reference to your reviewing that you do.
Frank.
It would be if I were not an organizational god. That's why I have a spreadsheet, so that I don't have to keep them straight in my head, because otherwise, that's all I got.
How many stories have you reviewed total?
Let's see. I am coming close to 4,000. Let me see. I kind of arranged it so that this year, every time I hit 100 reviews, I'm also hitting like a milestone overall. So I have reviewed 3,967 stories.
Wow.
Yee.
And that's everything on my spreadsheet. There's nothing I haven't reviewed that's not on there.
Well, I'm sure I'm going to have all sorts of kind of questions related to the reviewing later on, but of course, let's go straight to more user questions. How do you respond to people who don't like your reviews?
Drink.
Man, that's always the worry when you're reviewing stories, and I've had it happen a couple of times. People have gotten like really despondent. People have gotten really angry, and I just try and, well, for starters, you try and head it off. I have in the past taken pleasure in like ripping stories to shreds. I don't do that anymore because generally it's not constructive. It can be entertaining for the people reading it, but it's not useful. And I already target my reviews at the reader, not at the writer. So I'm not generally offering constructive criticism. But for the people who don't like, whatever review I give them, I try and just, say, hey, this is just one person's opinion. Sometimes I'll go and check out something else they have. Like a lot of times, people will say, I'm sorry you didn't like that story, but it was really crap. It's one of the first things I wrote, or I was drunk. It would be better if you read this thing. And I'll actually take them up on that at some point. The worst scenarios, I will take the review down. I've done that, I think, twice. And usually it's just because, I'm not doing this to hurt anybody. I'm actually just doing this because I enjoy it. And if my enjoyment precludes somebody else enjoying what they do, mine is the lesser, and it can go as far as I'm concerned.
Well, just to kind of expound upon that, I'm interested. Do you see what you're doing as something that's inherently helping the site, helping create better quality stories, or do you just see it as something as fun to do and you just kind of do it because you enjoy doing it?
Honestly, I just do it because I enjoy it. I'm a fat person on the internet, and I have a lot of onions, and I like sharing those onions with people. So this is how I do it. I do it in a kind of a regimented, patterned out way, and I keep track of everything because I am, at the end of the day, very self-absorbed.
So you're saying you're a man of many layers.
One might say that.
Man, we need to get Ogre this right now.
Wow.
But I think it's
Alrighty.
really good that we can actually sit here and show people that you're doing this because you enjoy doing it, and it's not because of some sort of greater power. I think that's going to remove some stigma around your reviews.
Yeah.
That said, let's move to Maj and Siko, who I can pronounce it right this time.
Oh boy.
He starts with, "Hoo boy, hoo boy. What's your favorite bagel?"
What's my favorite bagel? I'm gonna have to go, like, being very specific, a chicken salad bagel from Einstein Brothers on an everything. That's some good shit.
Oh, that was specific.
The next question is, will you plug your food review channel?
I would, but it's kind of dead right now because my computer is dead and I can't upload videos.
Oh.
But yeah, if you want to look me up on YouTube, it's Take Walker, all one word.
Alrighty. The next question, and I expect a very descriptive answer with this.
Oh boy.
How soft are your hands right now?
Oh man, okay. So my hands are not as soft as they could be. I'm afraid, sorry to say, like I got some dry patches on my knuckles, and I keep forgetting to use hand cream after I shower. I just the
So that's what you're
collective is going to
saying.
be disappointed.
So what you're
Um,
saying is you need somebody to rub cream all over your dry hands. Is that what you're saying?
My hands could be softer, yes.
Moisturize me.
but taking a step back, soft hands actually kind of became a bit of a meme on FemFic for a while, and you're kind of one of the central people in it. Can you take a step back and explain for those at home who don't know what the soft hand memes is about?
I'm glad you asked, Flutter Priest. I'm glad you asked. Okay,
Okay.
so Soft Hands begins with Majin Saiko. This was his doing. I took it and ran with it. We were one day in the Seattle's Angels chat, I think, on Skype, talking about his fic, Twilight's bathroom is flooded with semen, and somehow the phrase "soft hands" came into it in regards to Spike, and suddenly, like for the next hour, everything was soft hands. Like just applying that phrase to everything, it was weird and creepy, and kind of it was a lot of fun. And then we kind of forgot about it for 2 months, and then somebody brings it back up. It was probably him, and he's like, "You should make a soft hands writing contest." And I'm like, "Fuck no, I'm not doing that." And we kept talking about it for a little while, and I'm like, it basically ends with me going, "Okay, I'm making a group. We're doing a contest." And we did the contest, and it produced a very good piece of horror writing by Pegasus Mesa. She's the one who won. Well, and there was that's right, there were two winners because we did mature and non-mature, and I forget who won the mature one. Unfortunately, it might have been Petrichord. I don't remember now. Shit, I feel bad.
You'll have to
But
hand
anyway,
it to them.
we did the contest, and now Soft Hands just kind of sits. It is still there. It is still active, and at this point, it exists as basically me occasionally posting pictures of Lyra and hands and being as creepy as possible about it. Like you just kind of you have to go to the Soft Hands group on FemFiction and just look at everything to really understand what's going on, and you probably won't understand it anyways.
But it's that creepy.
Yeah, I've sort of developed this persona. Oh, Alaborn won the mature side. There we go. I've developed this like super creepy persona, and I'm just trying to be as fucking weird as I can possibly be every time I post stuff.
Perfect.
Except for the most recent one, that was just kind of weird.
All right, let's move to the next question from Majin Siko.
Boy,
Oh, and not burp. What's the deal with poop?
it's funny.
That's
There
quite
you
a simple, straightforward answer you got there.
There's no two ways about it. It's oh god.
Must anything more be said?
No,
I
no.
don't think anything else needs to be said on that.
I don't
Already,
think
al-
I don't think
already
that's a
this
shitty
podcast
answer
is-
by any means.
Ah.
already this podcast is going to shit.
And we drink.
Let's get the butt of the joke out of the way.
Oh my
And
god,
now
stop.
Majin Siko has a real question, or a serious question. What are your top 5 favorite stories on the site and why? And take as much time as you need for this question. By all
Okay,
means.
let me actually go look because I have a list. If you go to my wait a minute. No, that's not it. If you go to my user page on FanFiction, I have a top 15 fanfics. The first set is called Top Favorites. The second one is called Shit, I Need Another One of These. And the third one is This is a Top 15 now. Top 15s are cool. And sometimes I will review a story and give it a highly recommended rating, top 15. I just did that today, in fact. And I cycle these out occasionally, but the top 5 are not likely to change anytime soon. So my top, like number 1 pick for the best fic on this website is In the Place the Wild Horses Sleep by Lucky Dreams. And that is a really transcendent piece of fan fiction that captures what I feel is like the ultimate motive, like not what everybody necessarily should be doing. And I wrote about this not too long ago in another review, but it's very accessible for a young audience. And it's got kind of that like fabulous sort of Gaiman-esque children's story feel to it. And I feel like the more stories we have like that, that's Dinkin' Donuts by Pascal White. What was the other one I read? I don't remember what it was called. It was about Scootaloo. Oh, The Little Pegasus Who Could by Cosmic Afro. I think that's who wrote that. But anyway, these are very stories that speak to young audience without speaking down to them. And I feel the more stories like that we have as a fandom, the better off we are. Because when you come down to it, there's a fandom based around a cartoon show aimed at young kids, and if we can produce at least some content for that audience, we're doing good. And In the Place of Wild Horses Sleep was one of the first stories I encountered that was like that, and it's definitely the best.
Alrighty.
And you want me to go through all 5 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. By all means,
All right.
Go for all 5.
Number 2 is The Somewhere Cycle Volume 1, Wander in Greenbrier by The Descendant. I hope everybody knows The Descendant. He is a fantastic writer. He has not been active on the site for probably a year now, which is sad.
He used to go and post on everyone's user pages and be like, "Hi."
Yes, that is one way that he has made himself very visible. He's a really great guy. I hung out with him at BronyCon one year, and he was great. But The Somewhere Cycle is one of, if not the first story of his I ever read. It's about 2 ponies who are remembering their past lives as the horses of American generals. And it's got a really strong tie-in with the American Civil War. It's really emotional. I actually, the first time I read it, I was pre-reading it for Equestria Daily, and I ended it in tears, and it was just marvelous. That is always going to have a spot in my top 15. Gosh. Whew, okay, the third one is River Dream at Sunset, a manuscript by Groaning Grey Agony. That one is about, and I can't remember what the dude's name is. Let me see if I can go check out the review here. But it's like a very lush, Victorian-esque piece of writing. It's a really fantastic human and Equestria story. Let's see, Groaning. What was his name? I don't remember, but it's some specific. I think it's some specific author, like just kind of floating down a river, ending up in Equestria, kind of going on a bit of a safari through this fantastic magical realm, and it was really marvelous. I've never quite read anything like that. The fourth story is 80 Days to the World's Farthest Shore by Steinwolf, which I just reviewed today. As part of the 80 Days contest that Horizon organized, which was based around the game 80 Days, which is based off of the story Around the World in 80 Days. Mm-hmm. And he got together a large group of really good writers who produced a severely good body of work. And that one, as far as I'm concerned, is the best of them. It takes place in I think a completely original, like, fantasy kingdom, like kind of a, I don't know, like kind of a Game of Thronesy sort of place, maybe with a little more magic. I don't actually know anything about Game of Thrones, but you kind of get the idea. But it's this woman talking to a traveler about a woman that she met who is human Twilight Sparkle, and trying to get her to this portal at like the top of the world to get her home. And that's another transcendent piece of fan fiction. That's like, friendship is optimal. Like, if you know somebody who would like this kind of story, who really likes fantasy stories and isn't really into fan fiction or isn't interested in pony fiction, have them read that and see if maybe they're not interested in reading something else that's similar. And then number 5 is A New Age by Settle Soap Opera, which is a fantastic historical piece. It involves like Clover the Clever and Star Swirl the Bearded and a couple other, it's mostly OCs, but I think it includes a couple other characters from that time period. And it's like, I don't even remember what time it runs from. I think it involves the founding of Equestria and a couple of other things, but it's all written as letters, and it is a marvelous example of good epistolary writing, because that's not something that everyone can do equally well. But just the way it presents itself, and it's got all these, like, there's political factions going on, and there's drama, like interpersonal drama, and there's national drama, and I don't know, it's really great. It's like freaking Que Sera Sera. That's, oh god, that's such a good story. Yeah. When I say I review fics because I enjoy it, that's why I enjoy it, because I get to read good shit like that.
Should we hand you a towel because you sound a little saucy there?
Don't worry, I'm good.
See, I'm just happy that
That's
out of the majority of that list, there's only like Wolf and I've always said Sin and Wolf, and I feel bad about that. And the Descendant that are like really big names. I really like that you're able to highlight some of the lower people. I don't want to say lower people that don't get as much attention as they should.
Well, Saddle Soak should be well known, but he also hasn't been very active in the past couple of years, so he might have faded from the public eye. But yeah, Descendants, a really big name. Sign Wolf, I hope everybody knows, because Sign Wolf is a really good writer.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll move on to questions from Major Dude now.
All right.
Let's see. Going to question number 1. What is one particular story that you wish you like a good story or a unique concept, but was terribly executed?
Man, I've read a lot of stories like that, and I can't really think of anything in particular. I'd feel a little bad singling anything out.
Clearly, anything written by Flutter Priest and Ignite Kotaku are non-pencil, right?
Oh yeah, that's why I haven't reviewed anything by you guys yet.
Hey.
Actually, you reviewed a few of us, but
no. Every once in a while, I will come across a story though where it's like, man, I really want to like this, but it's just bad, and it's not even like, because if it's a good idea that's just got bad writing, that's one thing. Bad writing can be fixed, but if it's man, I wish I could come up with something. But if it's a good idea and then they take it in a weird direction, it's like, no, you didn't have to do that. Like randomly injecting Anon when there doesn't need to be an Anon in the story, or suddenly going into sex or rape, or just something that doesn't help the story at all.
Mm-hmm.
You just crossed all of us off.
Yeah, definitely crossed everything of mine off the list. There you go.
Yeah, especially with a majority of like a few of us in here being AIE writers. That said, actually, since this promotes a good conversation, we're not going to interject. We're not going to freak out against you. Maybe I will a little bit. But what is wrong with Anon?
Okay, I'll tell you this. I've been finding more Anon fics very recently that I've actually enjoyed. And the ones that I have been enjoying have an Anon who is like an insufferable dickhead. And I don't know, I do not react well to stories that are written specifically so the reader can insert themselves into it and live out a fantasy. I read one like a little like last week where it was very, if it wasn't actually a self-insert OC who was the main character, then it definitely came off that way. And it's like, okay, this is personal writing. There's nothing bad about doing that, but on the other hand, it's not going to appeal to everyone. And, it doesn't appeal to me because I don't really want to do that. I don't want to go to Equestria. I actually wrote one story about myself going to Equestria and meeting Twilight and Trixie and going right the fuck home because they were dicks to me. And that's kind of I guess that kind of sums up my thoughts on the subject, because I don't know.
And that's not necessarily to shame people who do like it.
Yeah,
it's just that's not your cup of tea.
Not at all. And I do feel bad about it sometimes because there's a lot of it out there. Some people work really hard at these stories. Wooten reads nothing but Anon and Equestria, and I very rarely listen to his audiobooks because I'll look at it and just be like, no, that doesn't interest me at all.
Mm-hmm. Wooten is a very good friend to the cast. We've
Is
met
he?
him before. Yeah,
Good. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
very cool guy.
He's a sweet, sweet boy, and I've handcuffed him to things before and people, so I am fond of him.
You
Oh,
handcuffed
my.
him to me.
I did, and to the
Yeah.
bed at the same time.
Yes, you said you
That's
wouldn't let us
right.
go until we kissed, and we didn't. Thank God.
Oh.
Anyway, not the point. But no, thank you for that interjection. I think it's really important to. A lot of people think that just because someone's anti-anon that their opinion isn't worth it, but it really shows that it's all personal stuff. It's nothing wrong if you like one thing or if you don't like another thing. Who knows? Maybe you're a big fan of ABDL stuff, and you know what? That's cool, but it doesn't mean everyone else is gonna like it.
I am not, for the record.
I didn't say you were.
Man, how quick you are
I
to
just
defend
want to be
yourself.
clear about that.
Let's go to question number 2.
Okay.
Assuming there is a crossover that you tolerate, which MLP crossover fan fiction story do you consider to be a good example of a crossover?
Ooh, I have read some good crossovers. Let me tell you what. Well, actually, just about anything from the 80 Days contest is a good example of crossover. A lot of them don't feel like crossovers. Like it's taking pony characters and putting them in the situation of going around the world in 80 days because of a bet. But reading Horizon's reviews of those stories, because he knows the game and I don't, he points out the ways in which 80 Days Under the Waves kind of deconstructs the game and also exemplifies playing the game but as a story. So that's a good example thereof. Let me think if I can think of any others. There are a lot of really bad crossovers out there. There are a lot that just aren't interesting because they either involve something that I don't know, or they take character X comes to Equestria and they meet the characters and they say hi and then they leave. What exactly comes from that? I don't know. Oh, and of course, let me go take a look at my top 15. What's the best crossover over here? Is it Order from Chaos by Twilight Snarkle? Yes, it is, because that's a really damn good story.
That's the wrong answer, because the correct answer is Fallout Equestria.
Oh my God! Stop.
Just
No,
because
it
it's
really
popular
isn't.
doesn't mean it's the best.
Enigma.
It was the best, all right?
Enigma. Sweetie.
Something.
I've been
something
very
Project
nice to you.
Horizons.
Don't jeopardize this shit.
All right.
No.
You're gonna get me started talking about Fallout Equestria, aren't you?
We could. Do you have things to vent? By all means.
No, let's save it for later.
All right, sounds good.
I'll be ready.
Next question. Why did you choose the avatar that you have now? Or how did you build your OC?
Is that the same question? Goes
Like,
seem like
they're basically the same question.
Okay. My OC is the design of my OC, Present Perfect, is based off my persona because I am a dirty furry.
There is
Hey.
case nobody
nothing
knew
wrong with that.
Yeah. Okay.
As long as you're not a sparkle dog.
No.
Okay.
My persona is he's like a gray wolf with black raven wings and feet.
Mhm.
And so I didn't actually design. That's right. I did not design Present Perfect. My friend Snap Eye got into the fandom about the same time I did, and he made me a picture, and I was like, oh, that's kind of what I was going for. Yeah, it was the pony Sona that I didn't know I needed. As for his name, back when I March-ish of 2011, when I was like, hey, there's a big fandom, I should go be part of that. I was like, I need to have a pony name, and I went around and I was like, okay, here's all these other people, and here's what they name themselves, and here's what pony names are like. So I'm going to pick something related to me. So I picked linguistics because that's like my thing. And I said, okay, I'm going to go look up some like vocab words and put something together that sounds like a pony. And Present Perfect is what I came across that just kind of worked. And then I also at the same time created two other ponies who are meant to represent me. One is a unicorn called Center Stage. He's a musician. He is supposed to represent my my narcissism. Present Perfect represents my perfectionism and my neuroses. And then the last one is an earth pony named Honey Dipper, who represents my love of poop jokes. Those are what I apparently take as the like three main facets of my personality.
I could have sworn Honey Dipper was your embodiment of something else.
No,
Wow.
a Honey Dipper is a person who cleans out septic tanks.
It's also a bird.
Herb.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Well, that's enlightening. The next question is, what inspired you to be a reviewer? And I think that's kind of answered previously by you do it for fun.
Yeah, I like reviewing stuff. Like Saiko said, I review food on my YouTube channel. I used to review Transformers on my YouTube channel. I don't do that anymore because nobody was interested in it. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
that's a thing I do.
So then we'll move on to questions from Scarheart then.
Scarheart.
If you were given a week to spend anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I've always said I wanted to tour Austria.
Austria.
I don't remember what the cities are now, but there's like 5 major cities, and they kind of go in a ring around the outside of the country. So like go to Vienna and Innsbruck and wherever else. I don't remember why I wanted to do that, but that might be fun.
Did you want to go to Austria because you were hungry?
Wow.
I'm so mad at you. I'm so mad at you right now, Enigma. You were doing so well, and then you just fucked it up like a crackhead that you are, and you just wouldn't stop. All you had to do was think, this conversation, and instead, you opened your fucking mouth anyway. Do you understand why we hate you, Enigma? Do you understand? No.
Whoa, Pencil, you need to calm down. How about you crack
No, I
open
don't
some
need to calm
incest?
down. You need to fucking shut up. There's a difference. Anyway.
Get fucking wrecked. Jesus. Air high five, Pencil. That was great.
Done now. We can go on. We can keep talking to our guests like a normal person. It's fine.
Was there anything else you wanted to add on Austria?
No, that's it. I will add that I'm not much of a like traveling kind of person. Like I've never been outside the United States before. I have been around it a bit, but I don't like going places. I don't know why.
Hey, I haven't been outside the U.S. either, so by all means, you are not alone.
Cool.
But the next question comes from Professor Plum.
Hey,
I have a feeling you might know who he is.
yeah.
He has one simple question for you. Why?
Because I can.
Damn right. God damn right. Now we're going to go to some questions from Mike Snipe.
God, that guy.
It was a guy that you did not know his name was.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, man. Okay. Question number 1. TrotCon 2017, bro.
Probably. My friend Max drags me to TrotCon at the very least.
Sorry, I have to ask. Max Breezy or a different Max?
No, he's not actually involved in the fandom.
Oh, okay.
You will know him because I hang out with him at TrotCon and he drives me everywhere.
We'll move to Mike Snipe's second question then.
He was also present for Rob Cakrin getting shoved into the back of a car.
I heard all about this.
And
So
he
can
will
you give us a
story.
little presence behind the shoving Rob into a car story?
So last year's TrotCon, Rob Cakrin got balls out drunk, and we all decided to go get food, I think. And somebody opened up their car. It was like a hatchback. And Rob was like, I call back seat. And he just dives headfirst over the seat, like through the trunk. And he remained that way, ass in the air, all the way out to wherever the hell we went, like Worthington or something. And when he got out of the car, he was wearing a hard hat that he was not wearing when he went in.
So Rob
Yes.
found a power up in the backseat.
He did.
All right.
Rob, you're wonderful, and I adore you,
Yes.
but Jesus Christ.
Oh man. Does your car still smell like Rob milk?
Oh, was
Okay.
it Milk's car? Oh man.
You said Rob, comma milk, but it sounded like you said, "Does your car still smell like Rob milk?" And I don't know what Rob milk
Wow.
smells like,
Oh dear.
but
Well,
I have questions. Nothing.
Why
I want
would
nothing.
anyone rob milk?
Well, clearly we want that hard hat.
Yeah, dude, and all the buttons.
All right, we'll go to question number 3. How do you want your bribe to be on this cast to be paid?
Small bills.
I see. Small,
How small?
non-traceable
How
bills.
small are we talking here?
Yes.
Yes.
He wa-
Okay.
He wants it a Sacagawea coins.
I
Ooh,
have
yes.
I have,
Actually,
in fact, paid my hockey dues, which was about $170, in a burlap sack of those gold coins. It was great. My captain was very upset at me, and then I became captain about a year later, and he paid for his dues to me in the same gold coins. So I still have those.
All
So
righty.
I can pay you. I can pay your bribe in gold coins. I am able.
excellent. I love coins.
Question number 4. Shilling time. What's the review process for the Royal Carolina Library? What can you tell us about that?
Okay. So the Royal Carolina Library consists of 5 people. It's myself, Chris, Horizon. We've been there since the beginning, and currently our other 2 are Augie Dog and Soge. And one of us will come across a story we like and nominate it. We'll post to the I think it's a mailing list that we use through Google. So post it. Here's like the title and a link to it. Here's a blurb about why we think it's worth putting in, and we go to our spreadsheet and we put a 1, and everyone can rate it -1, 0, 1, or 2. If it gets a score of 3, it goes to it's basically that gets it inducted into the library, and then we go about writing the interviews. This can take a long time. The whole process, in fact, takes a long time. If a story is like under 10,000 words, it'll usually go through pretty quickly, whether it gets nominated or sent to the dungeon. That happens fairly reasonably. If it's more like novel length, it might take a couple of months, and if it's 200,000 words, there's one of those right now. No one's ever going to read it. The rest of the process involves a lot of panicking because we're usually running like 2 weeks behind, and it's like, hey guys, it's Friday. We don't have anything to post next week. Panic time.
Oh God.
Camelot Library, flying from the seat of our pants since 2014.
So then, how many stories are you guys typically voting on at any given time?
Lately it's been not a whole lot. There's only, I think, 6 or 7 in the check-in process. But it can be upwards of like 10, 12. And it's just whenever it gets to a score of 3 or more, or like 3 or 4 people vote on it and it's got 1 or less, then those go in the dungeon, and whatever else goes into checkout. And the checkout process can be lengthy because somebody has to write up the interview. B, then we have to get it out to the writer and wait for them to get back to us. And there are writers that we have not heard back from for months or actually years, I think, who are probably just not here anymore. And that's always sad. We want to hear from these people. We want to get the word out that, hey, this person wrote a really good story. But it doesn't always work.
And then what's the submission process like? If someone finds a story that they really, really like, or they want to submit their own story for review, what's that process like?
Well, we don't accept self-submissions. We do have a submissions thread in our group. Just go to the Royal Carolina Library group on FimFiction, and the sticky thread at the top is submit a story, and we'll take and look at it. Some of us will immediately go and read the story. I usually just throw it on my read it later, or if it's already on my read it later, I'll bump it up to one of my other lists. And they just kind of get mixed into the milieu. But yeah, we do take those nominations, those suggestions into consideration, definitely.
Perfect. Then let's move to number 5. How did you get involved with the site as a content contributor, site interviewer? What does that entail?
Does that mean like the author interviewer thing that says below my name?
Yes.
Okay, so that's because I work with the Royal Camelot Library. The Royal Camelot Library was started because the Pony Fiction Vault run by RB-047, I think is what his number is. He was shutting that down. And it actually happened at a BronyCon one year. Benman came to me, he came to a couple of other guys. He's like, hey, I want to start up a new thing. We're gonna pick up where the Pony Fiction Vault left off, and we're gonna keep doing that. And Pony Fiction Vault had an arrangement with FimFiction where RB Dash could cross post his stories, his nominations and interviews a week after they went up on his site. And so we just kind of inherited that because we were taking over the PFV's wheelhouse. And when Ben Man retired, because he was the one doing it originally, I ended up taking it over because reasons. Possibly just because I said I would.
So it was really more kind of a right place, right time type of thing.
Yeah, I just sort of lucked into it, and it doesn't give me any like benefits or anything other than the great joy of people constantly asking, "Hey, how do I unsubscribe from your journals?" Like, oh, that makes me feel great. Thanks.
Oh, everyone values your opinion, Present. It's cool.
No, they don't, and they shouldn't. I'm only one person.
All right. So now we'll go to questions from Tony Montana.
Interesting.
Question number 1. How did you first get into the fandom?
How did I first get into the fandom? Okay, story of how PresentPerfect got into fandom. Once upon a time, back when Griffin the Brush Off had just aired, this is what, episode 6 ever? I was on Fur Affinity, and somebody, I think it was the artist who is now known as Must Love Frogs, had drawn a couple of pictures of Rainbow Dash and Gilda. And I really liked Gilda's design. And I saw, it's from My Little Pony, and I'm like, wow, if I ever watch this show, I'm going to be hooked. So I avoided it until March of 2011, when my friend Max, who I mentioned earlier, said, you're going to sit down and watch ponies. And so I and my girlfriend at the time and a couple of other people all sat down in his living room and watched like the first 8 or 10 episodes together, and I was hooked because I know myself well enough to be able to predict something like that.
I'm noticing a pattern where other members are indoctrinated into the fandom by forcibly sitting them down like a cult.
Yeah. And then my girlfriend and I spent like the next week or so marathoning the rest of season 1. The first episode I saw on television was Overbarrel.
That was the first episode that got me into the fandom.
I'm still not a fan of that episode. Anyway, the question was actually asking how I got into the fandom, right?
Yeah.
Herp. I just kind of went looking for it at that point. Because I sort of knew that it existed, and my first site was PonyChan. I was involved in the yeah.
Oh, honey.
It still exists. Did you know that?
It does still exist, yes, but
really
/MLP is better.
It is.
I was in PonyChan and I was in FimChan, and then I got involved in Equestria Daily, and then this FimFiction thing came up, and I said, "Who's going to use that?" I could have had like a 2-digit user code, man. But no, man. I put it off.
Oh, it's okay. We all know it now. So
you certainly made up for lost time, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think I have.
Alrighty, so the next question is, what is the first fic that you ever read?
First fic I ever read. That's hard because I started reading fics in 2011, and I didn't start writing down what I was reading until 2012. So I don't really know. I know one of the very earliest ones I read is The Party Hasn't Ended Yet by Absolute Anonymous?
That sounds pretty close.
Or was that Butterscotch Sunday? I don't remember. But that's the reason why I still like Pinky Dash. That is a good ship.
All right. What attracted you specifically to film fiction? I think we probably already covered that, but unless you have anything specifically to add.
People I knew in the fandom were getting into it. And then, I finally was like, maybe this site has, maybe it's a good idea to post some stuff there. Because the Pony Fiction Archive was actually like what do I want to say? It was like a rival, it was actually a legitimate thing at that point where, you want to have your stuff on the Pony Fiction Archive. And then there's also this film fiction site, and you might as well cross post it there too. And then one of them took off.
And here we are now, clearly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next question. How did you become a site interviewer? We already covered that.
Yeah.
How uncomfortable is this interview making you?
Let's find out.
So far it's not too bad. I'm sure that will change.
Aww.
Give it time.
There's the possibility to change.
Add-on questions coming up, so I guarantee you'll be uncomfortable after you read those. Everyone always is, and that's okay.
That's the problem with being on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't think this question's directed towards present, so I'll open it to the group. Is being in Pencil's basement similar to being sent to Rikers Island? I also don't know what this reference is.
It's prison. Let me be clear about something though. I live in California, so I don't have a basement because earthquakes. I do have a closet, and the closet is where I keep Priest. We have pictures of it.
It's true.
Yeah.
He has like those giant hamster things for water dispensers and food.
Actually, I think he's sitting in there like holding a single serving size bag of Cheez-Its. Like,
It's true. I have that picture somewhere.
Yeah.
The next question is from Almighty Commenter. Why is On Pencil such a dork?
Wow, people picking on me today. All right. Oh,
yeah, they are.
So this is what it feels like.
Why am I a dork, guys?
Cause
Priest,
I think you're adorkable.
Oh God.
Because of how you always write about penises, it's because secretly you desire one for your own.
Well, I can get one anytime I want, so I don't know, Enigma.
So let's move on to actually caring about our guest. That's what this podcast is supposed to be about.
About our guest, not my love of penis. Let's do
We're
this.
going to move down to the other guy. Who gives you a fuck, kill, marry scenario?
Uh-oh. Oh, I read this one earlier.
Your choices are Sunset Shimmer, Starlight Glimmer, and Twilight Sparkle.
Okay, kill Starlight.
Okay.
And then why you gotta make me choose?
You gotta choose.
You've got a choice between bacon or whatever Twilight is.
We promise we're only going to judge a little bit.
Speak for yourself.
I will admit, I read this question earlier, and I actually spent like a day thinking about it. But I think we're gonna have to go with fuck Sunset and marry Twilight.
Perfect. That's exactly what I would not choose. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, Twilight would be my food. She would actually clean your apartment or house all the time. You would never live in like slovenliness.
Actually, if you get Twilight, you also get a free servant.
Yes.
Yeah, and I could abuse Spike every day of my life. Do you know how great that would be? I'm with
He's a dragon, and dragons are tough, so you can kick him.
I know. Thank you.
Pencil, are you saying that you want to be Twilight's husband?
Totally. Would you not?
Maybe.
Yeah,
All right.
I thought.
Next question is, what is your best moment in your fandom? In the fandom, not your fandom. You have a fandom.
He owns the fandom, guys.
My best moment in the fandom. That's an interesting question. I don't have a really good memory for these kinds of things, but I mean, I know I have definitely had those moments though where like things come together and it's really awesome, or like you post a story and you go straight to the top of the featured box and it's kind of a good feeling, even though when you're not in the featured box you're like, oh, the featured box, it's so bourgeoisie.
What the hell?
Everything is
It's great. We need to get an isolated MP3 of that. That was great.
But me specifically, I don't know. Occasionally I do stuff and I'm really happy about it. I guess I could point to the story I wrote that's called "The Greatest Joke I Will Ever Write," which is part of Fast Times at Stinky Sugar. If you haven't read that, please go read that because it's the greatest joke I will ever write. There's just no two ways about it.
I personally think one of your best achievements is Octoscratch is best shipped. Yes.
Oh man, I really need to write the sequel to that. And it sucks because now season 6 has jossed it. There's no point.
Oh, April 1st, you can do all sorts of cool things. Wouldn't it be the 1-year anniversary of that thing?
I don't actually know. Actually, yeah, you're right, because I wrote that for April Fools, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Damn.
I kind of follow you a little bit.
Oh my.
So next question. Which pony is the cutest?
Which pony is the cutest? Sweetie Belle.
You can say.
Pre voice crack or post?
There's a difference?
Well, her younger voice where her voice or the point where her voice started to crack a bit.
I honestly haven't noticed. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Enigma doesn't matter. That's the correct way to go about things.
Oh.
So next question is from Yawen Kales. Why is the present perfect? What's wrong with the past and the future?
Well, honestly, the past is probably better. The future's definitely gonna suck.
Thank you. That's all.
We're going to go to Catalyst Cradle,
Oh.
who asks, the machine of death from Act of Will has appeared. What does it say for each person in the podcast? I actually don't know what this reference is.
The cheeky answer. Okay, so Machine of Death is the thing I based Act of Will on is a collection of short stories by a bunch of people, including Skywriter, about the Machine of Death. It's a machine where you put a coin in, you stick your finger in the slot, it pricks you, takes a little bit of your blood, and then it spits out a piece of paper saying how you're going to die.
I know how I'm going to die, so I'm curious.
And the cheeky answer would be Present Perfect.
Are you implying that you're going to murder us all?
I'm implying that you will die from me.
Oh,
Not that I will kill you.
Well, this is the last final episode of the Good at JE podcast. It's been a really great run, guys.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah,
okay,
you're
I'm
right.
curious, like how you think we'd all die.
Well, honestly, I don't know you guys well enough to really speculate, although I have a feeling alcohol would be involved in more than one.
Probably
That's-
true.
That's
Probably
pretty
true.
accurate, actually. Yeah.
Fair guess. Fair guess.
Yeah. So that brings us now to, of course, our viewers' favorite part of the podcast,
Uh-oh.
where we have people
refresh,
that
please
decide
refresh.
to just not come back. I've already refreshed.
All right, so shall I do the little song?
Yes, please do the song.
I can't do my baby doll voice, but I can try. It was.
It's time for questions with Bylon.
We have a user that comes out and regularly asks questions and abuses the fact that this is a user question submitted podcast. So,
All right.
by all the means, prepare your
not
anuses.
bad.
We're going to go in.
No, be ready. These questions will be really inappropriate. Some of them will make you really uncomfortable. Good luck. I wish you the best.
I
If
told you it
don't
would
wanna
happen
answer,
later.
By all means, feel free to pass.
I just let us read the whole question so our viewers can enjoy it because some of these are
Okay.
pretty well done by Lon. Oh my god.
All right. Question number 1. What is the most common mistake that ruins a perfectly good story for you?
The most common mistake. Probably not knowing when to stop. And usually it's stopping too early. But occasionally stories will just drag on and on and on. And it's like, especially with comedies, you have to hit the sweet spot. If you keep going, the joke is dead.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just cross all my stories off the list. Next question is money with a nice, polite request or blowjob a good way to bribe you for a review?
Money as a bribe for a review. Maybe. I won't commit to it publicly.
All right. What are your plans to take a hold on the elusive authors you're trying to interview?
Plans to
Okay.
take a hold on elusive authors. Well, I don't know. More elusive, it's interesting. I actually went and tracked somebody down via Tumblr because of a like offhanded comment somebody left on a post somewhere. I was like, this person's still around and she's on Tumblr. She never got back to me, unfortunately, but it was a step closer. We thought that one was completely dead. So the answer is I will do anything necessary. If anybody knows where Chicken Vortex is, let me know.
We'll keep our eyes peeled, just like our grapes.
Hooray.
The
Why
next
are you
question.
peeling grapes? Are we
It's
peeling grapes?
it's a long story.
Fine.
Which alicorn is most likely to screw one of their guards for fun and or to relieve stress and frustration?
Probably Luna, because I guarantee Celestia's got too much of that like ancient motherly thing going on for them to actually be willing to do it. And Luna's from 1,000 years ago when that was a lot more common, and she's just like, whatever, man. I get dick whenever I want it.
Free love.
Yes.
Alrighty. We have a would you rather, and you got 3 choices.
Okay.
Would you rather A, be hung upside down by a butcher's hook through your asshole? 2, get your jaw detached by a crane hook? Or 3, get nipple piercings and have those ripped out?
Those are all pretty terrible.
Welcome to these questions.
Yep. It's gonna get worse.
There are weeks that I feel actually violated having to say them out loud.
Did
You have not
Vylon
read the big question yet, Priest. I have. Trust me.
see the movie Hellraiser before asking these questions? Because that's what I'm thinking.
Sure, Vylon lives the movie Hellraiser every day of her life.
Of course, if you're getting hung upside down by a hook through your asshole, you're going to fall off of it like immediately because your asshole goes straight down.
But remember, it's
So-
like a bishop.
That's why the hook is curved.
Yeah.
Let's go with the last one. We'll humor him.
I think that works properly. Humor her, by the way.
Her?
She-
Okay.
She is a crazy, crazy bitch, and I love her for that.
Next
Though
question.
we wouldn't be in a room alone with her.
Yeah.
I totally would. I would be alone in a room with that girl in a heartbeat. Don't even.
Bylon comes to BabsCon. No one is the same. What do you think of the woman who seduced, raped a 16-year-old and then sued him for child support?
That's terrible.
Correct. That is
Correct.
the answer.
That is the correct
Good
answer.
job. You did good.
Thank you.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
Yep.
God.
It's gonna
this
get
next-
worse.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Priest, you can. do it.
Sometimes I stand back and I wonder if I should really be the host of this podcast. but-
Priest, do the thing.
Okay. What do you think of the morgue worker who got arrested after a DNA test revealed that she gave birth to a dead man's baby?
That's fascinating.
There, you'll find more about how that works in her next questions.
President, doesn't that sound like the reverse scenario of Berserk?
I only watched like one episode of Berserk, and that was a long time ago.
I've never seen any episodes. I just know how he was born.
That's interesting. I don't know that much.
So, what do you think? What do you think here?
Just that
I
it's
think
fascinating.
that takes some skill, honestly.
Okay, are you ready for a little role playing then? Are you ready?
Here we go. This is your self-insert second person story right here. This is what
shit.
we're gonna put you through.
Get ready.
You are that morgue worker now, and you are released by registering a plea for insanity. Then, to get compensation for the trouble of being arrested, you sue the dead man's widow for child support. You win. Unfortunately, instead of giving you the money, the court decides to take your baby into state custody, which makes you sad because you had plans for the baby. Morgues are also rejecting you now for whenever you apply for a job. It's your passion. How dare they deny you of any of your life callings? I think I read that wrong. They deny you of your life calling. There we go. Fortunately, you meet a guy who is totally turned on by what you do. And to your surprise, he even gives you his absolute consent and permission to kill him and use his corpse. Will you accept the offer to make each other's dreams come true and kill him for a short-lived yet super satisfying and unforgettable one time? Or will you decline and just be content on roleplay so you get less satisfying fucks to put an agreed, guaranteed partner?
And this happens every week.
This happens every week.
That's every every week. Violan is a regular. We love her to death. As is this
Well-
question subject.
And
by
they're
the way.
different every week.
Every week they're different.
The mitigating factor in this scenario is knowledge of the cannibal from Germany who cooked and ate his partner and then got arrested and like sent to jail for it. Like,
Oh, you're aware of that as well.
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
that in like Onion News. Like not the Onion News. Go ahead.
yeah, because like the courts, even if it's consensual, don't really like murder. So that's that's the tricky part. I don't know
Didn't
what
he?
the fuck I'd
Didn't he
do.
try again to find another person to eat?
I don't know what happened afterwards now.
The next. Oh God.
So you decided you're going to keep your partner alive and just roleplay Corpse Plus?
Probably.
I'm getting
Alright.
hungry.
Wow.
God, what the fuck?
Enigma, you are
Um,
actually distressing sometimes.
All right, so give him the information in the spoiler because this is fascinating and horrifying information.
The spoiler question. Do you know that a dead man can ejaculate because his urge to come is from a nerve located in the spine instead of the brain?
No, I did not know that.
Yep, you can jack off dead people.
And now the final question.
Oh boy.
Would you like to review links I would send to you with your permission? With a, what's that, Lenny face? There's a Lenny face.
I think I'd rather not.
There you go.
Good boy.
That was the Vylon questions. Now we're going to lose half our viewers as we move on to Snuffy.
How do you feel? Hold on. Let's
Are you
let's take a
okay?
little-
Like, we'll do a little aftercare here.
Let's just get how are you holding up, kiddo?
I've been on the internet for a long time. I was actually talking about this with someone recently. And it's like, yeah, when I first started out, I was really grossed out and weirded out by everything. But these days, it takes an effort. That wasn't really enough.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Some people it really distresses them. So
We see so much, we get desensitized.
and yeah. So you run the gauntlet of the Vylon and come out the stronger for it. Good job.
I'll admit I got a little queasy in the middle, but I'm a very squeamish person.
We
You have to
don't.
understand. Last week,
Nobody is going to be.
involved
Go ahead.
squishing aborted fetuses' heads.
That's terrible.
Oh yeah. It gets bad.
It's not a hate or it's not a bash on anyone if they're not able to get through the questions. I mean, Colton Gardez, he had nothing to do with any of Violon's questions. He's like, nope.
Oh, man. Stig's been on this. I need to go find that episode and listen to it.
We have a lot of really cool people on this.
Yeah.
You included.
I mean, obviously, because I'm here.
Well, now we're legit because you're here.
Thank you for coming and hanging out with us, Senpai.
I'm really bad at being self-absorbed. I try.
We can help.
We'll stroke your ego for days.
Pencil, when you said thank you for coming in that voice, why did I picture you as a serial killer? Like a woman who pretends to be a little girl who kills men?
This is half
That's-
accurate. Anyway.
That's literally the plot to Hard Candy, the movie.
Yeah.
So let's move on to Snuffy's questions.
Okay.
Number one, very few stories manage to make a really memorable OC. Why is that? What did they do wrong?
Designing a character is, I think, a lot more involved than a lot of writers realize. Because you can go out there and find all sorts of resources for how to make your character memorable, how to make them jump off the page, and it takes a lot of work. And furthermore, I think it also takes a lot of experience. Like, you need to have met people and really thought about like the ways that they act and the ways that you can take those behaviors and turn them into characters in the written word. But I mean, it's not easy to do, and a lot of people who write fan fiction, they're not, for one reason or another, they're not willing to put in that much work, or they don't realize that they need to put in that much work. So it's not the worst thing in the world, and it's something that can be learned. So that's that's a good thing.
It just comes with your general writing skills, being able to create and develop characters.
Yeah.
Question number two. Do you have any tips on making an interesting pony OC?
An interesting pony OC?
Correctamundo.
Huh. Well, I mean, in many ways, you can just follow any tips for making an interesting character. Period.
Yeah.
Things that help with specifically pony OCs. Let's focus on one thing: the name. Think about the name. How does it relate to like their special talent? Why would their parents have named them that when they were a child? If it's a really weird name, how was life growing up with that name? Because far too often I see characters with really weird, like Vector. This is my Vector Ether, my OC who likes writing, and it's like, what does that name have to do with any of that? And why would a pony name another pony that? There's a definite pattern to pony names, and I'll say this too: there are not nearly enough OCs out there with names like Cheerilee or Scootaloo.
Just kind of the one name thing.
Yeah, those are not as easy to get.
I'm picturing a scenario where Anon is like in a bookstore and he sees this little kid reading, and he goes up to the kid who's reading about nuclear stuff, and he goes, "What's your name, little boy?" And the kid goes, "My name's Nuclear Armageddon Genocide."
Good job, kid. And then he walks away. It's like, I don't want to deal with this at all. But that actually segues really well, the names deal, because now Snuffy's going to ask you to role play a little bit. You arrive in Equestria as the OC, Nyx, which is obviously from Past Sins, Penstroke's signature story.
Oh, God.
You arrive at the ending of the story. I don't know anything about the ending of the story, so let's try and...
I don't remember the ending of the story either.
And your only way back is to make Rumble your very special summon pony. How do you accomplish this?
I kill myself.
Perfect. That was... Really, no one else like that? I thought that was great. That was fucking great.
Like very, very gently just massaging the side of my head right now. It's okay. It'll be okay.
Now we're gonna go to a different OC.
Uh-oh.
This time it's Batsy Fluffentuft.
Fuck that.
You are on super probation, and the only way to get back is to give Celestia a French kiss. How do you accomplish this?
I kill myself.
Yes!
That's a better answer. Good job.
Oh, this is good. Okay. Now let's go to a different friend of the podcast. Now your Crystal Wishes.
Oh, God. Hi, Crystal, baby.
You are at the start of the series of all the Crystal Wishes, Crystal Hopes, all of that. And your only way to get back to Equestria is to find and bed Silent Night, which is her big shipped character in those series. How do you accomplish this?
Man, that's a hard question, because I did read Memoirs of a Royal Guard.
Yes.
I don't really remember how they got together, because I was very not invested in that relationship.
Ooh.
So, like, we lost somebody.
It's okay.
It's Enigma. Enigma will come back. I think his internet's bad.
The answer is do whatever happened in the story, but I don't remember what that is.
Right. Well, that's fine. We'll just isolate that clip and send it off to Quill and Blade, and everything will be fine.
I don't know. Just wait till he breaks up with Iridescence and then go wave my tail in his face or something. That works, doesn't it?
No, that will work. Perfect. Then last but not least, the final OC that we have a question about is Deep Throat Cockslut.
The screaming is beautiful. I love it.
I mean, that's from hardcover, and she's kind of a big deal. People love her. Your only way back is to embrace your true talent and ultimate destiny. How do you accomplish this?
Oh man, I can't breathe. Oh shit, I forgot.
I take it the story gets a big vote of confidence from you, a big recommendation.
I forgot that was a thing.
And now you remembered. Now you've remembered that this exists. How does it feel to know you exist in the same world as this?
Wow. Of course, that's not nearly as good as Princess Fart Sock.
Oh my god, that's a thing?
I think that's an Aragon thing. Don't quote me, though.
Oh,
Princess Fart
let's
Sock.
ask him.
Whoever came up with Princess Fart Sock, I've been trying to get them to finish writing the story for years now because I need this. Anyway,
Kitsune Risu.
oh yeah, that's right, it's Kitsune Risu because I always confuse him with Aragon because I'm a terrible.
Here, I'll
As
throw
the
it in
question
table chat.
itself, do you even have to ask? Isn't it obvious? Yes,
You
there we
kill
go.
yourself.
Actually, yes.
Actually, yes. You could also body swap Deep Throat with someone on FemFic. Who do you pick?
What? I don't even know what that means.
I'm just as lost as you.
Pass.
All right.
Yay! Our first
Then-
pass. Good job.
As an extra question, there is a question. Oh God, for me, is it scary being in a relationship with a non-pencil? And the code word for yes is cupcake.
Well, first of all, that's not the safe word. Everybody knows cupcake is never the safe word.
But to be super real here, being in a relationship with a non-pencil has been the most fulfilling thing that I can say I've ever been in the last few years, and I love her to death.
That got super serious and like actually feelsy, and now I feel all like uncomfortable because people actually hurt you and me being nice to each other, and I'm not sure how to feel about this.
Wow.
So let's move along to Lisa Claire.
I know, right? I like to think I'm terrifying to be in a relationship with, especially when we go out places because oh god, if yeah, no, Priest, what happens when you go out to any place with me?
You squeeze my hand so hard that it's gonna break, and we sing Frozen.
God, that's not about what I was
fucking
getting
adorable.
at. Oh, I was getting at the fact
Oh my
that
god.
I know people. I
Oh.
drink and I know people.
It's true.
I'm learning so much.
Oh,
You did pretty much get me like 2 free shots of Macallan's 24.
it was a great day for that, or the pizza, or you know
Or-
the free
yeah.
thing.
Pencil. I misheard you. I thought you said you drink people.
Yes.
Well, I
I
mean-
drink and I know people, and I also know and drink people. That's how it works. That's how I do things. Oh Lord, Priest, why are you showing me as a big stupid softie to the world? Stop that.
Let's move to questions from Lisa Claire.
Yay.
First question is there anything you'd like to see written so far doesn't exist?
How about all the story ideas that I've come up with and just done nothing with? God, if I had some focus, I would have over 100 fucking stories on this site, and some of them would be giant epics, and they would be really good. God damn it!
You'd basically be Admiral Biscuit.
Could be.
sorry.
That wasn't meant as a dig at Admiral Biscuit.
It
I love the
sounded
guy.
like such a dig, Priest.
No, it wasn't. No, I love the guy. Oh God, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry.
I have one of his shirts, so I basically am him anyways.
Wow.
Perfect.
You guys are that intimate, huh? Sharing shirts.
Is his like bigger? Is his like 2 sizes bigger than yours?
I'm not going to answer that.
Wow. Okay. Let's move to Lisa's next question because Enigma's an asshole.
We knew that already.
Why voice readings review?
Why voice readings review? Well, is that like 2 separate things, or is he actually asking about voice reviews? Because I've only done like one of those.
I think the question is, why do you review voice readings?
Oh, why do I review voice readings? It's one of the many services I offer. I mean, the whole thing with fic reviews is I'm going, would you want to read this story, or what person would want to read this story? With the voice reviews, it's, should you listen to this fic reader? And let me tell you, there are a whole bunch of people out there reading fanfics. I am still finding new ones to this day. And those will be coming up in another 30 or so audiobooks.
So what's your criteria for choosing different reviewers and stuff? There's a whole bunch of reviewers, and definitely audio reviewers that want to kind of break into this fic reviewing scene. And like back in the day, way in the day, there was like Mike the Microphone that was just doing like 1 or 2 things. And now today we have Scribbler, we have Quelling Voice, we have all the things that you get a part of. We have Wooten. We have all sorts of stuff on Equestria Live. We have writers' workshops. Go watch the writers' workshops. What makes you choose a specific audio review over another?
Well, okay, there's what makes me choose an audio reader, and then there's what makes a good audio reader. I need volume. That's about it. Because I listen to audiobooks while I'm in the shower, so I got water running and I can't hear shit if you're too quiet. This does not necessarily make a good audiobook listening experience for everyone, however. But some good things to keep in mind if you're looking to get into fic readings and you want to do a good job. Microphone quality, number one. Don't use your onboard laptop mic. Even the microphone that comes with like a pair of headsets with a pair of headphones is better than an onboard microphone.
It's true.
Definitely don't use the microphone that comes in your phone. That's like super bad. If you can't spring for, I am currently speaking to you through a Blue Yeti, which is a pretty solid, like $100 microphone. If you can get one of those, get one. If you can't, just get something.
Yeah, I'll pause you for a second and say that Milk and I both use Blue Yetis. Enigma, what do you use?
A Star Wars headset.
And Pencil, what do you use?
Oh God, I have the box somewhere here. It's from a company called BMI. It's really shitty, but it was free. I won it. So
Doesn't sound bad.
It's literally better than nothing. So
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, continue.
Before this, I was using a Nady USB 1C, which was more like a $50 microphone. Also had decent quality, not nearly as good as this though. Holy crap, the Blue Yeti is a good microphone. But yeah, there's that. And I think the other thing is just like enunciate, like, because when you're talking to people and you're like kind of slurring words together and you're talking really fast because that's what you normally do because you live in like an urban situation or you live in Northeast Ohio like me and you talk really fast all the time, don't do that. Slow down. Enunciate your words. Take your time because there's no like, you don't have, it's not a race. There's no time limits really unless your YouTube channel is doing the 15-minute cap, in which case read a bunch of really short fics first so you can get that removed and then you're fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of what I hear that turns me off of readings is just really poor quality. You know, there's a lot of background noise. They slur their words, and I mean, this can be hard for people who have speech impediments, who are not native English speakers. Fic reading is actually a really good way to help yourself with that. Like one of the readers I listen to is Visual Pony, and he's got a really thick German accent, but he's also a very clear speaker. And you know, he doesn't go fast, and he constantly mispronounces words, but you kind of get used to that after a while. Yeah. And I really enjoy listening to his stuff. He's the one who's reading Project Horizons, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into that. But you know, anyone can do it. You don't need a lot of expensive equipment to do it well. It's just practice, and don't worry if your first half dozen or so don't make a splash. Just keep at it. Equestria Daily is now posting audiobooks that people do, especially. Well, I don't think it has to be stories on the site anymore. You know, so long as it's general audience, you can get them to post that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And of course, there's a lot of really great stuff through Ponyville Live too. It's really easy to submit content to them as long as you have some good YouTube playlists of what you're doing. They do a little bit of quality control, but as long as you can show that you're trying and you're improving,
exactly,
that's the name of the game. Like, I was really interested in doing things like these podcasts and the writers' workshops, mostly just because I have a slight stutter, and by working on these every week, it's a good practice for me to work on my speaking skills.
Yeah, for me it was pacing, because I have a tendency to rush my words, and I have to, you know, if I slow down, everything sounds fine.
So yeah, go talk into a microphone, and maybe people will listen.
I'm just a narcissist who loves the sound of my own voice, and I really don't care who's listening, so that works for me too.
Damn right.
And also, if you're really serious about it, you know, go out and listen to the various resources out there, like Deft Funk's Well, I mean that's more for voice acting, but I mean there are a lot of resources out there. Scribbler's got videos about how to read stuff. I think Goombasa has videos about that too. And take feedback, take criticism, and don't get discouraged if only one or two people are listening, because that means you've captured the attention of one or two people, and that's really cool.
It starts small and builds up. That's how it always goes. It doesn't matter whether it's stories or fic readings or whatever it is. The next question is, will you make any more crazy pre-reader videos?
Oh man. So like the shit pre-readers say videos.
Yeah.
I want to do one more of those. The 2015, I think, is going to be the last one, because Spurs does not update anymore. I can't. I was basically the only person putting stuff on that site, and now I rarely even go in the chat because I'm splitting my attention between Skype, Discord, and IRC, and so nothing's going up. People aren't voting, and I was gonna do one more, and then my computer exploded, so I haven't been able to do that. I would like to go back and do that though, because like at the same time I was gonna do my top 20 Brony songs of 2015, and I'm just not going to do that anymore, because that's run its course, that's done. But the Spurs video I think will be worth doing. I just have to get a lot of money to fix my hard drive.
I also imagine it would probably be pretty difficult to do some of those top videos when you have people like I think it's Jay Holler and AC Race Best that really do a lot of that kind of stuff with the fandom.
Yeah, well, nobody
do.
really cared about my top videos anyways.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay. That's another thing I did because I enjoyed it.
There you go. That's the main reason to do it. So now we've got questions from Aragon.
Oh,
And
shit.
Oh boy.
I suppose I could try to do this in like an Aragon voice, but I don't think I'll do it
Oh.
justice.
Oh, man.
How come you're never online, you fuckaroo? That's my first question, not a statement. Read it as a question. How come you're never online, you fuckaroo? You fuckaroo.
I do a lot of stuff during the day, and I usually only get online at like 9 or 10 at night for about an hour until I go to bed. And like I said, I split my attention between 3 different places, and so I'm not everywhere at once.
How dare you?
It's sad, but it's what we live with.
Let's see. Next, what's most important in a story, in your words? The core concept or the execution?
Definitely the core concept. Execution can be fixed. Bad concepts generally cannot.
All right. The next question is, what got you into reviewing in the first place? Did we answer that already?
I think so.
Yeah, we
I'm
did,
batting
we
head
did.
onions. I like
Alright.
sharing onions.
Do you think reviewing has helped you with your own writing?
Probably not.
Ooh.
I'm not. I may be somewhat self-absorbed, but I'm not that self-reflective.
Huh.
Has it made you cynical to the world?
Somewhat.
Interesting. Okay. That's all of Aragon's questions. We went through them lightning fast, so I hope
Wow.
that did him justice.
What do you know? We did
President.
something lightning fast with Aragon.
Lewd. That's really lewd. Now we're going to Redshirt 47. Oh gosh, these are just talking about the
Who just
Um,
gushed? Wait,
I'm
wait,
just
wait,
gonna
wait,
go
slow
back.
down.
I'm just gonna go back and in this place ask Blade's question.
Slow down, Priest. Who just gushed at the name of Red Shirt? I just heard that.
I don't know.
It was not I.
It was
It was
probably
not a
Milk.
female voice. Ah, milk.
Anyway, I'll ask what Blade's question was in this place. Suck. That's the question.
That's not a question.
It
There
is
we
a
go.
question.
Then we'll go to Rob Kakrin 53,
Hey.
also known as that guy that wrote My Little Dashie.
It's so great, isn't it, Rob? Don't you just love My Little Dashie and how much fame and
Little Dashie, the best fic ever.
I know.
Y'all 3 years old.
Oh.
That would make
Next
Rob
question.
mad.
First question is, what is your beef with crotch tits?
You see, that sounds like you're just taking your man beef and slapping crotch tits with it, which has its own entire appeal. So you know what? Cool. Thanks,
Having
Rob.
interpreted it that way, I'm not going to answer the question. They don't belong there.
That's where they are.
No, it's terrible.
What, do you want them on their chests?
Not on the ponies, no.
Okay.
The ponies.
They should just not be there, period.
Can you
Yes.
imagine crotch tits on humans?
Oh, God, stop.
Like you go to
Oh.
unzip her pants and the like a pair of D cups just like spill over the top of her jeans.
That's somebody's fetish.
Yeah,
I
was gonna
spent
say,
literally
someone's
weeks
into that.
bandaging those.
Oh, also because apparently our viewers want to drink. That is one shitty review. That's 2 drinking words. Drink up, kids.
Oh,
Yay.
shit. Next question from Rob. How involved are you really with FimFic? I know you do mostly fic reviews and the like, but are you in contact with the mods regularly and ever get behind the scenes here and there?
Honestly, I post the weekly blogs for the RCL. I do communicate with Nighty. He's in the Equestria Daily pre-readers chat. So I see him there every now and then. All I can actually do with the site, I'll tell you this, other than post the social blogs, is I can go into the admin panel. I can see who has been banned recently, and I can see who has passed the most fics for the fic. What do you call them? Whatever the admins or the moderators do to put fics on the site. I can see who's done the most of that. That's it.
Huh. So you just sit there and kind of indulge in your knowledge more than anything else.
Yeah, sometimes I'll go in there every now and then. Like if I see somebody has gotten banned and then the last time I saw them they weren't banned, I'll go see if it was recent and maybe if there's a reason for it. But other than that, I can't do anything, and I don't generally do anything with the knowledge anyways.
Well, it's still kind of enlightening to know. The next question is or isn't Uno the best card game in existence?
Oh God, Rob.
I can't play Uno anymore.
Not the way you play it, son.
What does he do? Is there a story behind this?
He plays
No.
like fucking 3 decks at a time. Playing
Yes, Rob
Uno
plays
with him
right.
is insane.
No, Rob plays it right. Rob understands the hardcore Uno method. You only play Uno. You don't play like Uno Go or Uno Spin or Uno Flip or anything like that shit.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you
What the hell
play
is that?
Uno. Oh,
You
yeah.
play
No,
Rob-
Uno is great though, and you have to play it cutthroat. You have to be willing to lose friendships because you absolutely will damage them.
And you gotta be willing to slap your hand down and challenge that wild draw for, okay?
The goal of Uno is to steal the green cards, right?
Wow.
Thanks, Mexican. That was
Sure.
really helpful.
I'll remind you of that if I ever play with you.
Enigma actually is Mexican, which is why anytime he talks about getting a green card, we just kind of shake our head sadly. Isn't that right, our little anchor baby?
Well, I'll remember to challenge Preston to a hot game of Uno at the upcoming BronyCon if you're there.
Well, if you guys could do a hot game of Uno, I want to watch. Take video.
We'll do
No,
it.
I'm probably not going to be at BronyCon again.
No!
Which is sad. I only went twice, and it's just, it's one of those things where if I have the money to go, I don't have the time because I'm working.
Mm.
Fair.
I don't have the money right now.
And then, let's see, Rob Cakerin continues on. Also, Milk, I was not shoved into your trunk. I strategically placed myself through the back hatch because trying to squeeze into a back door and behind a back seat would have been impossible. I have a beer gut of a 40-year-old. Your car is evil. End of story.
Bitch, please. We had to fucking shove your fat ass into that car.
Well, I will say there was strategy in that he started the motion, but yeah, it had to be finished by others.
Wow.
Oh. All right. Now we're going to go to Major Dude, who has a bonus question. If you were forced to kiss one of the podcasters, who would it be?
It would have to be. Well, see, now I'm put in a situation because I'm not into guys, so the only one I want to kiss is Pencil, but she's in a relationship, and I have too much respect for that.
All right, let's go to questions from Alex_.
No, that's okay. No, okay. It's okay. I'd still kiss you, baby. No worries.
Yay.
That's sad. Yay. All right. So Alex underscore. How do your normal interviews and interview style compare with this podcast?
Normal interview, like the interviews for the RCL people. Well, it's not consisting. It's not. This is not a written document consisting of 8 pre-generated questions and 3 to 5 individual questions. So it's completely different.
I'm guessing you're really underwhelmed. Then you really wish it was the pre-generated questions fashion. Then, huh?
No. This is fun. I think a lot of people think that I do all those questions. And while I do a large number of the interviews, I don't do all of them. It's not a one-man job. If it was, it wouldn't be happening because my God, it's a lot of work.
All right. Is there anyone on the site or not on the site anymore you particularly want to interview?
Well, I mean, I really want to get the interview with Chicken Vortex, because that one's been sitting around the longest. Yeah, I mean, any of the authors who haven't gotten back to us, and the couple who actually refused, because that has happened more than once.
They actually refuse to do the
Yeah.
interview.
I think it's mostly out of humility, like, this story or me as a writer is not worth putting into your library. And it's like, well, we think it is. Can you please do the thing? They're just like, no. So we respect that.
Fair enough. Let's see. Now we have a question for the podcast regulars. Is there anyone in particular, brony related or not, that you want as a guest on this podcast? We kind of touched on it earlier, but we'll try and rapid fire it here quickly. Pencil?
I'd love to get Dusty Cat in here eventually because he's a sweetheart and it'd be really fun to actually talk with him and have it recorded.
I think it'd be cool too. Nigma?
No Whacking or Eiley Monty because the voice of Octavian Vinyl.
Right. Of course.
I'd listen to that.
I think it'd be cool to have Vanna Melon in, honestly. Like, Vanna Melon's getting really, really big in the community recently, and she's just huge. So I think that'd be cool. Milk?
I'm kind of a toss-up between Nighty and Pickleus. Both would be really cool people to talk to.
I have an answer for this too.
Go on.
I think you should get DWK.
DWK. I can't say I placed that name.
The guy who does the totally legit reviews. Oh, you don't know this? You need to go look this up.
No, I don't. I'm terrible. I could probably try to see if we could find Soul Rack and just see if he can just scream for 2 straight hours.
And
I
then
had
too.
I had a chance to play Melee with him at a con, and I was trying to put my Jigglypuff up against his Marth, and he just wrecked me. It wasn't even like a little bit. But
So you're saying he smashed you?
he just dominated me. It wasn't fun. It wasn't good for both sides.
A priest prefers, the dominating when both sides have given full consent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Don't read into that too much. Next question. Are any of you doing anything interesting this weekend? Present, you get it first.
Nope.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I'm trying to get over being sick.
Yay! As am I.
So next question. So have any of you guys got like funny stories or anything? Present.
Just in general?
Yeah,
Yes.
like not even like fan fiction stories, just like a funny story that you would tell people if you're in a bar and we're looking to make friends.
Give me a minute because I can come up with one, but I need to think about how much needs to be explained beforehand.
Oh, by all means. We're a story sharing podcast, so whenever you feel like you're ready for that, by all means.
Well, the next question I think is perfect for while he thinks of this.
Alex underscore. Is it sad that this podcast is by far the main highlight of my week? Oh,
Yes.
We
It's
should-
very, very sad. You should
No,
feel
no,
bad
this
about
is
that.
fun.
We should get this guy some therapy or something.
I want to give you a hug, man, because like I'm happy that we can be that for you, but by all means, like get a loot box. or something.
We are not a
Not-
substitute for alcohol, even though you
not-
should drink alcohol when you hear us.
Not sponsored by Loot Crate.
Fuck, man.
Okay,
What's that, Present?
I've got my story.
Go for it.
Yes.
So, okay, Max and I have a mutual friend. So the two of us have been friends since high school. Another friend of mine since high school, his name is Miles. Miles is like maybe 5'6". He's really short. His beard it comes in ginger, even though he's not himself. He has broken literally every bone in his body at least once, many of them twice. He has broken so many bones that he cannot breathe when it is cold because his ribs contract.
Oh,
And he has broken all these bones by doing things like playing chicken with a semi-truck and winning.
Why?
oh my God!
Why?
How do you win?
He won not dying? I don't know.
Fair.
He's crossed a river by climbing underneath an overpass. Like,
Holy
if you
shit.
ever look at the underside of a bridge,
Uh-huh.
there's like crossing stuff. Yeah, he did that once. I was there when he came to the other side. He is a crazy motherfucker, is what I'm trying to get across here.
Mhm.
And these days he's mellowed out a lot, but he still does a lot of dumb things. So, more recently, like in the last year or two, my friend Max started drinking. Like, he finally got into alcohol. He's like, I'm sick of occasionally having alcohol and just going, because I can't take it. So he's like, I'm going to very specifically try and get to myself to a point where I can drink alcohol regularly. And so Miles likes drinking stuff too. We all get together at Max's on the weekend and try something new. And Miles found out that when he drinks enough, rather than like get drunk, he sort of passes out. We found out this is called, it's some kind of a fugue. But basically, he'll be, he'll have a drink or two, and he'll be talking and talking, and the conversation will continue on, and then we'll all sort of notice that he is asleep, like he just is sort of asleep on the couch, and then he'll wake up and he's perfectly sober. This is a thing that he does. We're not really sure why. He has done things like pass out while leaning up against a refrigerator, which we will never let him live down. But the story I'm going to tell. We had been drinking because we do that on weekends, and we went to the dollar store to get some cookies or something. I don't know, because Max lives right next to a dollar store. They have cookies that don't taste like crap. So we go in there, and Miles is giving me shit because he does that sometimes. He's like, playfully punching me in the arm, and I'm just like, no. And then at one point we stop because we've gotten to the part of the store that we're going to, and he leans against me. I'm like, oh, come on, quit playing around. And I just sort of shoulder nudge him to the side. He goes down. He hits the floor, at which point I'm like, oh, well, it turns out he had passed out on me, and I thought he was just fucking around. And so he kind of ate the floor. So, we get back and we laugh about this. This year, he was telling this story. And the way that he told it, he says, at this point, I've been messing around with Present this whole time. The next thing I know, I wake up on the floor. And, Present, who is one of my meekest friends, just knocked me the fuck out. And I'm like, wow, I can use this.
Have you been trying to
story
maintain the
basically-
lie?
What?
Keep going. I interrupted you by accident.
The story basically ends that he starts giving me shit again, and I just turn to him. I can't remember what he was. He was like chewing on my arm or something. That's a standard Miles thing to do. And I palm his head because I am more than a head taller than he is. I palm the top of his head, tilt his head up. I get right down next to him, and I go, I took you out once. And he fucking loves me. And that's the story of how I am able to kill my friends by saying things.
Good job.
So, like I was saying when I interrupted you, have you been trying to maintain this lie ever since?
So far, so good. He doesn't live around here anymore, so I only get to see him around the holidays. but I make the most of it.
Alrighty, now we're gonna skip down to Wanderer D, who is a guy
Hey.
who does things.
He does.
He's kind of well known.
That's what
We've
the D
talked to him
is
before.
for.
Yeah, he gave us the D before.
Wanderer does.
So, first question: why shouldn't Octavia own a cell phone?
Because ponies don't fucking own cell phones.
Dun dun dun.
I don't know. I feel like if a unicorn were to get a cell phone and they put it next to their head, their horn would act as an antenna.
That's actually kind of neat. I hadn't thought about that before.
Although,
So-
if we discount the fact that cell phones don't exist in Equestria, I honestly can't think of a good reason.
It's true. That had to
She
be an
would
alternate
be-
universe type thing.
She would be one of the more responsible cell phone users in Equestria.
Hmm. So the next question from Wanderer is: when are you attending BronyCon again? We're gonna all miss you.
When I get some fucking money, god damn it.
I know, I
GoFundMe
feel
for
for you.
Present Perfect. We need him there.
No, I need to GoFundMe for my computer first. That's more important.
Very fair.
Next question is: what is the best twist in a story that you've read so far?
Twist is the best twist.
That was pretty sassy, dude. I have to say. That was pretty sassy.
I have to admit, one of these days, I'm going to write a story with a secret twist ending where Twist shows up. That's going to be the end.
And will somebody say what a twist? Will somebody actually say what a twist?
One of the characters is going to unzip themselves, and it's Twist inside. That was the secret twist that was there all along.
What do you
M.
think of
Night-
the twist at the end?
It
Yep.
was M. Night Shyamalan.
I might steal this idea before Biscuit or someone else gets the chance to steal it. Just there's a twist at the end. That's the title of the story, and
I
then
think
the
I
twist
actually figured out where I want to do that too. I can't
Yeah,
remember
don't
now.
steal it from Present Perfect. It's already
Oh.
his idea, Priest. You can't.
Well,
go
all right,
around
it's all
stealing
yours.
ideas.
Go for it.
Jesus. He's like,
Steal
I
it.
want to write this story. I want to steal this. God damn it, Priest. Jeez.
This is mine now.
What kind of jackass?
This is how original content works. All right. Let's see. We got questions from Cyber Phazon. Oh, there's a bunch of questions. All right. Number one, if you had the ability to ship some pony, griffin, drake, etc., who would you ship in the show and why?
Like for realsies in the show?
Yes.
Force them to be together.
I would probably go with Twilight and Moondancer because Moondancer just she can't live without Twilight, man.
Hmm.
If I needed one ship to be canon, it would probably be that.
I could see
You
that
just-
too.
You just want an image of them both in the same sweater.
No, they need to go inside books together, dude.
Yes. They can go have freaking fantasy adventures with Daring Do and shit.
Yeah.
And then they can go do it for real.
Yep.
Let's see. Who would you go on a date with in Equestrian if you could?
In Equestria, nobody because they're all horses.
Huh.
I don't do horses, man.
And yet you're in this fandom. That's and you're a furry. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Some people may think differently.
Priest, you may not, do not allowed.
All right. Question number 3. Do you have any tips for writers? And is there a way to give an example of your tip? Okay.
Yeah, give us your.
That's really poorly worded. So my advice is don't do that. I can't really give any advice that hasn't already been given. I don't think. Standard things: read a lot, read good stuff, figure out what the good stuff is and what the bad stuff is, and the really hard part is figuring out what the mediocre stuff is, and then not doing that. But read a lot, write a lot. Don't get discouraged. Discouragement is the worst bane of the writer. Actually, that's what leads to writer's block. That's what leads to long hiatuses. Whether it's self discouragement or letting other people keep you from writing. If you're not writing, it's hard to call yourself a writer. You gotta write. You gotta write something. And I'm even bad at doing that. I go for long periods of time without writing anything, and I usually feel bad about it. Other than that, listen to feedback. That's always good. Figure out which feedback is worth listening to, because even if somebody like insults you directly that has nothing to do with the story, they can still give you actionable feedback. You just have to be able to filter it out, and that's not easy to do, nor is it fun.
Very, very true. and very
On the
accurate,
other,
very well said.
as an aside, don't give people feedback like that. It's not helpful.
It's true. There has to be some actually this is fine, but you need to slow your pacing down. Things like that. That's actually helpful. Not stop writing. You're a cancer. That's terrible advice.
Yeah, that's about it, I guess.
Stop writing your malignant growth.
Enigma, stop writing. You're a malignant growth.
I'm pretty sure I already told Enigma not to breed
You did.
when I was reviewing something he wrote. So
Would that make him malignomatic?
Ow.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, I can't.
That question earlier about what my greatest moment in the fandom was, I think it just hadn't happened yet.
you think this was it? This was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, all right. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, God, that was great. I'm
Priest,
proud of
did you just orgasm at that? That's what it sounded like.
Puns get me. Puns get me every time.
It's true. You don't understand.
Puns are your fetish.
All right, so let's move down past all these questions for everyone. We're running a little short on time.
Oh, really? I was gonna see if we could get him to sing. We have time, dude. We have 15 minutes. We're good.
Okay.
The end of the thread is seriously me just like telling somebody their shit, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Let me refresh quickly. Which one of you can sing a kid-friendly song with little to no errors?
Can you do it, PresentPerfect? Can you do it?
Friendly song. What kind of kid-friendly song?
Like anything. Like that's the question. That is the question that we get
Art
on
of
this
the
podcast.
Dress. Art of the Dress. I love that one.
Oh man, Art of the Dress. That song still gets me. That is such a good one.
Yeah,
See,
it is.
I'm the king of Let It Go, so
It's true. We have much footage of him singing that. It's true.
Yeah, I can sing a kid-friendly song without any errors. Definitely.
Yay! What is it? Do it. Do it.
Well, nothing said will you.
The next question literally is will you?
Oh.
yeah. 1.1 is can you do it?
Here. If you're nervous, I'll start the first line of it. Somebody once told me.
Yes! Oh, wake me up. Okay.
Do you have a song to sing for us? A short little kid-friendly piece of music.
Actually, I'm blanking on like how Art of the Dress starts. Somebody help me.
Thread by thread.
No, it's stitch by stitch, sticking it together.
No, it's piece by piece, stitching it together. Twilight's dress, cutting out the pattern snip by snip, making sure the fabric folds nicely. It's the perfect color and so hip. Okay, and then I forget the rest of it, but that's
That was
fine.
really good. That was really good. Clap for him.
Got her inflection perfectly, and that's hilarious.
That was really good.
I love it.
You need more reading parts. In fact,
I had
we have to get you on a
six
writer's
classical
workshop.
training.
God, no. Stop. Oh, God. I got to get out of singing today. This is a great day. All right, now we can.
Oh God, I can't die. Oh.
So now you can skip the questions for the rest of us and just ask the ones for him.
All right, random questions of the week. Do you think they might be able to make some games for MLP Friendship is Magic, like consoles or something, besides the Monopoly MLP add-on?
Sure, they could totally do that. That is
All right.
possible.
5.1, do you think it'd be possible for Square Enix and Hasbro to make a deal to have Kingdom Hearts 2 have DLC for Hasbro?
I guarantee that will never happen.
Yep, will not.
Now, let's see. Next question is, if they did somehow, which seasons would they start and end at? Man,
Man, I haven't played a lot of Kingdom Hearts. I mean, okay, for like a video game, it would probably be a good idea to do like the season 4, because you can go through finding the keys and then unlocking the box, the Tree of Harmony, and then killing Tyrek. Like that's a very video gamey arc.
Couldn't Sora just tap the box and there you go, it opens?
By the way, I wanted to let you know that our chat is flipping balls about the fact that you sing and they want you to sing more.
Really?
to quote Moonlit Wings, sing for me, Daddy, please.
When you
My
put
gosh.
it that way.
Yeah, they want you to sing this day aria.
This day aria, I don't know that one as well.
Really? I know
This
that
day
one.
is
That one.
going to be perfect. Anyway.
I dreamed since I was small. Every pony will gather round, say I look lovely in my gown. What they won't know is that I have ruled them all.
Welcome to the Good Singing Podcast, where we just ignore our guests and we're gonna sing songs.
Oh, I'm waiting for. I figured he wouldn't do Cadence's part because God knows I don't want to do Cadence's part.
I fucking
No,
sing
I
that
hate
part.
Cadence.
No!
Yes! Good day! Yes, this is a good day.
Bike's okay.
You had pencil, then you lost her.
Let's move on. We're almost done. So.
All right, now we have some questions from Fluffy Unicorns. What do you think about a non-pencil stories? And don't say you don't know them. You just reviewed one.
I did just review one, and I do not remember what it
Why?
is.
It's the one about pooping in the middle of town and Fluttershy trying to like get you to poop like a normal pony.
Wait. Hang
Or
on.
she
Out with the
bats.
I'm trying to find it.
She bats a non on the head with rolled up newspaper.
Oh my god, that was the funniest shit.
Oh, okay.
Shit, drink.
Okay.
Okay, like, cause I reviewed that for the Poop Fic edition.
That was your first story of mine, you said. What the actual hell? Like, of all the stories to start with, God.
I needed a story about pooping. Okay, you wrote one. It was in my read it later. Yeah.
I guess
Okay,
you could
but
say that his read
seriously.
later is constipated.
if the story fits, put it on the shits.
Next question, please.
Dear God, why? Yes,
To
that story
all
was
the-
very funny.
Thank you.
To all of the cast, if you had to choose between coffee, tobacco, and alcohol for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
Booze! Booze! Booze!
Alcohol.
Booze.
Coffee, since I don't take the other two things.
I'd probably choose alcohol. I love coffee, but it's bad for you.
Booze isn't bad for you?
In moderation.
Booze is great for me, okay?
In moderation, both are good then.
I have a doctor's note that tells me to actually drink whiskey or scotch. You know this.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it took some effort.
All right, I'm
Thank you,
gonna take a
Dr.
look.
Long,
Good
for
for
everything.
digestion.
I don't know. I guess I'll go booze.
Woo! We are a drinking podcast.
I'm gonna take a moment to refresh, and now we have questions from famous last words.
We're almost done.
President, is it too late to ask a question?
Apparently not.
There we go. Question to me for Flutter Priestess, Hack Attack, or Beartooth. I'm really into Beartooth lately, like a lot. If you see my blogs, and no one should. But general question to President: who would you say is the most talented author on film fiction that you've come across?
Talented, man. There's a lot of them. I'm gonna go with right off the top of my head. I'm gonna just say Sign Wolf, but that does not preclude, because there are so many good authors, and just man, like Doggy Dog and Descendant and Skyrider and Cloud Wander and Colden Gardes. I could
And
sit here and
enigmatic
name them all day.
otaku.
No, shut the
Who?
fuck
Was
up,
that
Enigma.
your imitation of his voice? Was that you trying to imitate what he sounds like?
Dead silence.
Enigma, was that you trying to imitate our guest? Because yeah, you
Now you
Yeah,
better run.
yeah, run, you pussy. Anyway,
Next question. Do you remember author Malajong 1? for Spike's Rainbow Dash and shit. He was my favorite author before he did some douchey stuff and got banned.
Yeah, I remember Malajong. I don't think I actually read any of his things because it didn't come up in my spreadsheet. Checked.
All right. Now we have questions from Midnight Chaos. Boobs or butt?
Boobs.
Yeah, boy.
What are your opinions on Displaced as a genre?
I actually haven't read any Displaced fics other than the one that Bad Horse wrote, which was kind of a parody of the genre. I'm not interested in them because it's more like self-insert wish fulfillment stuff, and it seems like it's really, really formulaic, which that really turns me off, to be perfectly honest.
All right. This next question actually gave me pause, but I'm happy that you went and just like called them out, Pencil.
Oh, that's what I do. You
So
know.
let's just have fun with this. What's your favorite race of ponies?
Yeah, my
Okay.
response was, what the shit do you mean by this? And he was like, oh, I use the term race and species interchangeably when it comes to ponies. I was like, you might want to specify you're talking about ponies. So they mean out of the 8 species, unicorn, earth pony, Pegasus zebra, thestral/bat, sea pony, changeling, or alicorn.
You said Thestral.
I did,
Don't
that's
ever-
what they said.
Don't ever say Thestral. I will fight you.
We need a
I
new word
was
for
just
that.
What's wrong
reading
with
what was said.
thestrals?
Jesus.
Terrible word. Anyway, if we're gonna expand it that much, I would have to say sea ponies.
Shooby-Doo.
Wait, a quick question. Can we say thestral if it's in reference to Harry Potter?
Yes.
Okay, we're good. We're good. We're still friends.
Yay.
And then moving all the way down to our final question,
Last question.
we go to RTS Stevens. What story would you recommend for a newcomer to fan fiction to read first?
Newcomer to fan fiction. I have a couple that I could recommend. Like I was saying earlier, people who like fantasy would probably like 80 Days to the World's Farthest Shore. People who like hard science fiction might like Friendship is Optimal, even though it's not a super great fic. People who have young kids should read stories like In the Place the Wild Horses Sleep, Dinkin' Donuts, The Little Pegasus Who Could, the one Pasquite wrote about his kid, which I can't remember the name of, even though we were talking about it literally yesterday. And I've read... No.
Oh, yeah!
No, and also no.
But for beginners.
Gosh.
Never.
I'm looking at my top 15 over here. I don't think I've got any others that are like real good gateway fic, but
What
there
about
are
people who just want a fat? What's the first fat fic you'd recommend them?
Give me a sec. I have a list over here that I've been compiling.
I'm
You were
actually
supposed to you were supposed to slay the dragon, not lay it.
Oh, shut up, Enigma.
Wow,
No.
shut up, Enigma.
Yes,
I
everybody
know
should
I
go
would
to
suggest for those that are into dark stories, I would suggest The Cough. That story.
Oh,
just-
definitely
Yeah.
The Cough. That's a good one. I would probably say let's see, because see, when it comes to clout fics, I like stuff that actually has story.
Yes.
In the Shower was pretty good. Ribbons and Lace, if you don't mind having too much story. If you want to troll yourself, go read the entire works of Gorse the Deathclaw, because I fucking love him. First Instrument was really good. The Fan, if you want something a little different.
Different or different?
And of course, the Tale of Shadowblade. I mean, you can't forget the Tale of Shadowblade.
That is the greatest one. We should award that one for an Emmy or something.
An Emmy. Oh, God. Okay.
Fanfic.
A howitzer or whatever the award things are.
Howitzer!
What?
But the
I'm gonna award it a Worcester sauce.
I want to start an award show now for MLP fanfic and call it the Howitzers.
That's amazing.
They'll get a little like SFM statue of a fucking howitzer.
At the end of the year, you can do a fucking end of the year like 2017 best fix review.
Oh man. man. All right. Well, are there any final things you'd really like to say to or people who have been listening or fans of yours? Is there anything you would like to leave people with?
Howitzer.
Mark it off. Put it on the list.
Oh my god.
That should be our award. No,
Yes.
that's the award. No, guys, that's the Good HIE award that we give for the best guest of the year.
Yes.
Can the little statuette have like me loading in a howitzer?
It'll just be pineapple. It's fine.
Oh gosh, who do we
Oh.
award it for 2016 then? We'd have to award it to probably Crystal and Ansel.
Maybe we might have to, but no, we'll figure it out. But I think that's a great idea.
All right. Well, that is all the time that we do have for this particular podcast. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I didn't get to watch the counter very much to see where we topped out in the live stream, but I know we've been doing exceptionally well over on YouTube. I can't believe it. We can't thank you all enough for tuning in every week. There's going to be more Writers Workshop episodes coming up soon, which are vaguely associated with the podcast. And thank you once again, Present Perfect, for coming on and tolerating us for 2 whole hours.
It was nice to be here.
Aw.
Yay. So thank you for watching the Good HAE podcast. This was a non-pencil.
My cat won't stop touching my breasts again.
Enigmatic Otaku.
I'm pretty sure Priest wishes he was the cat.
Milk.
I'm still sleeping.
Present Perfect.
Huh?
And my name's Flutter Priest. Have a good weekend.
Go get drunk, assholes!
Fucking yeah.